Of Mice and Men. This is the 1992 version. I had been wanting to see this movie for ages, and I finally got around to it yesterday. What do I think? Nothing particularly amazing, but the movie is very good. It captures the struggles of the Great Depression and how it hindered people's personal ambitions incredibly well. It featured some very strong performances, notably John Malkovich as the impaired Lenny. The direction is very good too. There isn't too much to say about this, I think. It's just a very good period drama with the occasionally good piece of humour. I will give Of Mice and Men an 8 out of 10. Freaky Friday. Not a whole lot to say about this. It's got some really funny jokes. It has an awesome premise executed in the best way possible, and it's a good commentary on parent-child relations. The mother character's role as a caregiver is underappreciated, and the daughter's struggles of life are underestimated. The characters go through all the appropriate changes that you would expect, and it ultimately provides a positive message. Jodie Foster also performs very well in this film, for her age. I'll give Freaky Friday an 8 out of 10. The Dictator. I went and saw this in the cinema last week, and I have to say, I did surprisingly enjoy it quite a bit. It's not by any means a fantastic movie, but it has some pretty good jokes, although occasionally some of them don't work in my opinion. The humour is quite offensive and politically incorrect, and in that regard, I think it's great to see the writers take such risks. I really like the parody of horrible dictators that General Aladdin is, and the performance by Sacha Baron Cohen was very good. Ultimately, I like this movie a lot. It's not by any means excellent, but most of the time it is pretty funny. I give The Dictator an 8 out of 10. Finding Neverland. At the moment, I'm reading a book on screenwriting, and it comments on the influence old playwrights had on the art. That is very well reflected in this film. The film comments a lot on the ability of writers, but outside of this, the drama is fantastic. The screenplay is very well written, and the way it was brought to life by Mark Forster, who went on to make a really good movie called The Kite Runner, was really good. You get to really know J.M. Barrie and love him as a character, as well as the family he befriends in the film. Johnny Depp and Kate Winslet deliver some of the best performances I have seen from them, and the ending of this film has got to be one of the saddest I've ever seen. I recommend Finding Neverland very highly. I will give it a solid 9 out of 10 rating. The Iron Lady. I had high expectations for this one, and I gotta say that I was actually let down a bit. The movie definitely excels in certain areas, but it flops in others. Meryl Streep delivers a fantastic performance, and the cinematography is beautiful, but the narrative structure has some problems. It's cool to see this story revealed through flashback, but it's so convoluted that it's hard to get what order these events happened in. I'm not much of a fan of Thatcher's policies, but the film does allow you to sympathise with her as a person quite well, and I thought the scenes related to the Falklands War were done very well. This movie could have been excellent, but the way the story was told wasn't thought out well enough, so it hinders its full potential. I will give The Iron Lady a 7 out of 10. Flubber. The Nostalgia Critic gave this one a bad review, but I was still curious towards seeing it. I thought it'd be a fun little movie, but I simply didn't get that result. There are no interesting or developed characters in this movie at all. There are scenes that amount to absolutely nothing, and they make the short runtime feel much longer. And the jokes, they simply just aren't funny, and the humour is mostly just made up of uninspired slapstick. People just trip over or get hit in the head with things. That's pretty much all the jokes are. Robin Williams is a great actor and all, but this kind of stuff is miles below his standards. It's not terrible, but I just didn't like this movie at all. I'll give Flubber a 5 out of 10. The Ghostwriter. This is a recent film from Roman Polanski, and as far as his work goes, I think this is really underrated. Ewan McGregor plays a ghostwriter writing the memoirs for a former British Prime Minister, played by Pierce Brosnan. and in the process, he begins to uncover a mystery that gradually puts his own life at risk. The way the mystery is revealed is done really well. A friend of mine on YouTube actually commented on it, saying it was like a throwback to Alfred Hitchcock's work, and I can see what he means. It feels very much like The Man Who Knew Too Much. McGregor and Brosnan and the other cast perform very well. The look of the film is beautiful. I love the scenery. The dialogue is great. The twists and turns of the story keep you on the edge of your seat the whole time, and the ending is satisfying as hell. The Ghost Rider is a great contemporary thriller. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. The Ring. This is the 2002 remake of the 1998 Ringu from Japan, which I still have not seen. I thought that this horror movie was very good, but in my personal opinion, it is even better as a mystery movie. There were tense moments, yes, but what really drew me into this movie was the way in which the unknown parts of the story were gradually revealed in the most suspenseful and engaging way. I thought Naomi Watts was great in the movie. Martin Henderson was great, and Brian Cox was great. I also appreciated the overall originality. You could attribute this to the original version more so, but the very idea of watching this videotape and being killed within a week is just a really cool idea, I think. One more thing I really liked about it was the overall look of the film. The visuals, such as the effects and the cinematography, are brilliant, and I think that we can credit Gore Verbinski for his wonderful direction for this. The Ring is a great horror movie, in my opinion. I look forward to watching the original version from Japan. I will give The Ring an 8.5 out of 10. The Avengers. This film has been generating a lot of hype lately, and what can I say? It really did live up to it. It's beyond awesome to see a collection of Marvel Comics superheroes all in one movie. I think that the best performances come from Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, and Chris Evans as Captain America. I thought Samuel L. Jackson delivered a really good performance as Nick Fury too. I wasn't a huge fan of Mark Ruffalo being cast as the Hulk, but it didn't bother me too much. The action scenes and associated special effects are spectacular, however a little bit drawn out at times. I think also, at times, the comedic relief was brought in at inappropriate moments. Despite these few tiny factors I didn't like, this is a fantastic superhero film and one of the best of the genre that I have ever seen. I will give The Avengers a 9 out of 10. Holocaust. This is a TV miniseries from 1978. It has 5 1.5-hour parts, making it 7.5 hours in length, and currently the longest film I've ever seen, and I loved every second of it. This is one of the best fictional studies of the Holocaust that I've ever seen. It starts off as early as 1935 and shows the effects of the Nuremberg laws and Kristallnacht, and goes all the way through the war and reveals life in the ghettos, the concentration camps, etc., etc., through the point of view of the Weiss family. Most of the actors do very good jobs, however, some of them aren't good at all. I think the best performances in this movie come from Meryl Streep, James Woods, and Rosemary Harris. My favorite subplot of the movie is focused on the division of Carl Weiss and his wife Inga. At times, the editing is a little bit shoddy, killing some potentially moving moments, but the subject matter alone is moving enough. As far as TV movies go, this is one of the very best I've seen, and is one that I think is worth owning on DVD for sure. I'll give Holocaust a 9.5 out of 10. Anyways guys, that is my video. I hope you liked it, and goodbye.